I just want to preface this video by saying there are hella spoilers in this bitch. Just letting you know. So I never really do video essays, and I've always wanted to do one. So here's my top 5 favorite animes and why you should watch them. The Monogatari series is one of my favorite series of all time. It's also one of the hardest shows to explain, but regardless, Monogatari is a highly stylized coming-of-age drama with supernatural elements. In order to break it down, each arc typically features one of the main characters in the series being connected to some sort of supernatural phenomenon. And what makes this show so great in my opinion is how the writer always ties said phenomena back to real-life events. For example, in Arc 1, also known as Hitagi Crab, our based protag, Koyomi, rescues a high school student falling down the stairs. Right after picking her up as opposed to being like, "Oh, this bitch heavy!" she ends up being practically weightless. After talking to her, he realizes that this bitch got issues and needs to see Oshino, an oddity specialist. After more and more peak character development, it's revealed that the crab deity took her weight because of her inability to accept her past. And this is not the only example of metaphors and literary devices being presented in Monogatari, but I just believe that stuff like this makes the series so digestible for the viewer because it's relatable. Also, it's fucking beautiful. The art style and animation is top tier, the OSTs are iconic, the voice acting team is stacked. Like, what could you want from an anime? ReZero, Starting Life in a New World, is one of the greatest isekais I've ever seen. Not that mid bullshit like, the hero took everything from me, so I partied with the hero's mom. That's a real series, by the way. ReZero starts out with the main character, Natsuki Barusu, trapping in the gas station when all of a sudden, boom, isekai'd. After recouping and trying to realize what the hell happened, he ends up walking into an alley, gets jumped, and meets the love interest, Amelia. Turns out she's looking for an item. A really important item. On the journey to help her out, he faces an obstacle nearly everyone struggles to overcome. Death. But wait, what? He ain't dead. The fuck? He's alive and well. Well, maybe not well, but you know what I mean. Nonetheless, considering the series shows up for on to 3 seasons, you need to understand there's much more to the series. Despite respawning, it still doesn't erase the trauma attained from said death. It's terrifying and shocking how a series based on such a simple premise can be so intricate. It's the character development that really makes the series stand out, and it's one of the reasons why I think it's such a good watch. Welcome to the NHK is a show that I can't really write a bullshit memo on. It's one of those shows where you watch it and then you cry for hours afterwards. Out of all the animes I've seen, Welcome to the NHK is a show that not only showed me a deeper understanding of mental disorders, but an inside perspective regarding trauma and isolation. Although this video is on my top 5 favorite animes and why you should watch them, I will say that this show may not be for everyone. It does contain a lot of dark themes, it does fixate on mental illness, and it does reference suicide. But that shit will change you, dog. The Zarigoto series, later adapted into an OVA known as Kubikiri Cycle, is a mystery series with some of the coolest plot twists I've ever seen in anime. Like, for example, one of the books features 2 murders, one that wasn't actually a murder, but a suicide, and that person who committed suicide ended up being a murderer who killed themselves because of the guilt of the murder. And there's a whole bunch of other really confusing, intricate shit, but whatever. Typically you think that'd be off-putting, but by the end of it, you realize how much detail and creativity the author put into these mysteries, involving locked room cases, disguises, deaths, all to create one cohesive murder mystery. It's like Danganronpa, but actually good. Did I mention it was made by Nisio Isin? And finally, we have High School DX